When you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate. Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison? What's your pleasure? Oh, my city, she never sleeps. My city, she never weeps. My city, she keeps me alive. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, 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 oh. Give it up. My city, my city. My city, my city. Where do you go when your heart with a fever? Won't you scroll, but you won't leave her? Oh, here we are, all the freaks and believers, all the sweet neon dreamers. Oh, my city. My city, she never sleeps. My city, she never weeps. My city, she keeps me alive. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, 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 oh. Give it up. My city, my city. My city, my city. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, my city, my city. Give it up for my city, running wild and looking pretty, oh, oh. Give it.
What's the story, Raw fans? Tonight's topics on the rest of the story are...
New tag team champions
Yes, Paul Heyman, no more, Mr. Nice Guy.
and FireFly FunHouse. Rest in peace, Ramblin' Rabbit. Again.
All that and more coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and after every pay-per-view. We've had some technical difficulties here, so bear with us. Yeah, because you weren't paying attention to our thing at the beginning, were you?
No, I wasn't. I was looking at Twitter.
Yeah, it was messed up.
And I'm also being blinded by this light here because we generally don't have that light up as bright as it was, but I was filming something today.
Yeah,
so
good job.
It's real bright. And
Yes,
it's
we're
kinda
going to
blinding
recap. Scott, we're recapping Raw.
Yeah, since Wrestle Story recaps are better than Raw.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with that
No.
because you're kind of right. We are cooler than Raw.
We try to be.
Yeah, most of the time. So, we open up the show with good old Seth Rollins. He comes out, he talks about, how he... Sorry, I'm going to move the microphone. That's, really close. Sorry. I feel like it's just weird in here because all the lights are, really bright. I feel like it's different. It's because we're on a different screen than we generally are,
Well,
I
we
think.
got the lights on back there, too, so that's normally... And we normally don't have these lights on, so
I don't
that's
know,
probably
man.
why it's messing things up.
No, it's different on here because we generally, can see, our watch time and stuff. You're on the other page.
Oh, yeah, I'm on the other page. My bad.
And I don't like that.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
That was part of our technical difficulties we were having that you weren't paying attention
to the wrong page.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. Whatever. So, we are talking about Raw. It's Monday. We open the show with Seth. And he comes out and he talks about his Universal Championship defense at Super Showdown, which was great and fine and dandy. So, he did that. And then good old Corbin, being Corbin, he comes out and he interrupts him because he has to. He He just has to. And so, Corbin interrupts him and is like, what kind of a champion are you? Hitting people upside the head with chairs? I would never do that as champion. And you would see that if I was champion, but you slid out by the skin on your teeth on Friday. And I can't believe you. And blah, 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 blah. Corbin stuff. Corbin sucks. Then, Seth tells him, you know, he didn't win on Friday, and he's not going to win the Stomping Grounds. Corbin says that, you know what? Speaking of Stomping Grounds, I have talked to my good old friends, the McMahons, and I get to we're having a guest referee, and I get to choose that guest referee. What? I'm shocked. Corbin gets an advantage in the match? I'm shocked. Are you shocked? Because I sure was shocked.
Well, they kind of make their own matches anyway.
Pretty much.
Hello, Anthony.
How's it going? A reigning, defending predictions champion.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It wasn't bad. I mean, there's some things on it that could change. And they just started, you started to see some other things that are maybe taking shape that could take place that leads to some storylines down the road.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't the worst draw I've ever seen, ever.
No, they changed
worse.
some things up, but the bad thing is to have some of the same stuff that
happening.
They've been kind of carrying on with, so...
Yeah. So, then Seth says, I don't really even know who you would pick as a guest ref because you have no friends and nobody likes you. These people here in San Jose don't like you. And so, nobody likes you. So I don't even know who you would choose. And then Sami Zayn comes out and is like, I've got Corbin's back. I like Corbin. And I think him being the Universal Champion, honestly, would be what's best for business. He would make a better Universal Champion than you, Seth.
Hi, James.
Then, Kevin Owens comes out. Because Seth said something along the lines of like, oh yeah, you have friends that'll have your back or something like that. And I was like, Kevin Owens, he's going to come out next. And he did. And so Kevin Owens comes out and he's like, I don't like how you're talking to my friend Sami Zayn here. You can't talk to him that way. You jerk face. I can't believe you're doing that. And then Seth is like, well, if you have a problem with me, and you have a problem with me being the Universal Champion, why don't you come pick a fight, bro? And he was like, maybe I will. Well, maybe you should. Maybe I will. Maybe you should. We're going to do it in the main event. And so that's the main event is made. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins in the main event.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So
then we have R-Truth and company stuck in an elevator.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't the whole company. It was just, like 5 or 6 guys. There was EC3.
Drake Maverick, Cedric Alexander, Heath Slater. I wish they would do more with Braun.
There's a lot of guys I wish they'd do more with.
Agreed.
They have enough time during the week that they could, if nothing else, just get them on the show and wrestling and create a storyline for them.
Yeah. So, R-Truth, the whole thing gets started with Carmella and Truth, per usual. And they're, running down the hallway. They're like, oh, shh, people are coming, people are coming, people are coming, people are coming. And then people are chasing after them, and there's, an elevator. And we're like, okay, this can only end well. And the whole roster is chasing after him, and they're, beating the button on the elevator, but there's no ref around, so nobody can do anything. R-Truth is like, go, you gotta go get a ref, you gotta go get a ref, you gotta go get a ref, you can't do anything with me unless you go get a ref. And so, half the group runs this way, and the other group is just hanging with Truth, and then the elevator opens, the guys run back and they have a ref, but EC3, Drake Maverick, Cedric Alexander, Heath Slater, Mella, and Truth all hop in this elevator, and they're like, we're going down, and all of them are like, bah, 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 and Carmella's like, wait, y'all can't do anything because there's not a ref in here. What are you even thinking? It's not like you can beat him upside the head. It's not gonna do you any good, so don't. And then the elevator stops, and they're all like, What's happening? What's happening? The elevator stopped, you fools. What do you think's happening? And so the elevator stopped, and they're stuck in there.
Yes. It was a cool
We'll come
segment.
back to this
and then,
subject
the things
in
they
just
do
a
with
little
it
bit.
made it a little more cooler. I like some of the things they did with it.
It was funny. I thought it was funny.
So then we have the shocking Lars versus the Lucha House Party.
In an elimination match.
Not sure.
I honestly stopped right there. I thought this was going to be the main event. I was shocked it wasn't. Weren't you guys shocked it wasn't the main event? Because I sure thought it was going to be the main event. It's not like it's pure main eventness.
I agree. She's going to pin him.
She has to.
She's going to be the 24/7 champ.
She has to. She's going to be the first woman 24/7 champion. Possibly the only one.
I don't, this whole Lars and Lucha House Party, I don't understand the whole point of it. It just seems like it's, lasted forever, and all he does is destroy them. Unless somehow, now here's a thought.
Here's a thought. It better be a really good thought. Just saying.
With Rey Mysterio, his son possibly coming into wrestling, would they possibly bring him in, masked up, and help out the Lucha House Party?
Maybe.
Just a thought, man.
I don't think they would, though.
Well, they don't seem to be going the Samoa Joe way with him, so I thought maybe, they might do something that way. Roman versus Lars or Braun versus Lars.
That's what he needs to be doing.
Well, what they have him doing right now is kind of dumb. I think Lars versus Braun would be awesome.
But they're not going to, because I think they're going to do Braun and Joe next.
Well, here's a thought. Would Lucha House Party say, okay, we're going to have Braun Strowman as kind of our bodyguard?
Braun comes out to defend them?
Yeah.
I mean, possibly.
And then they create a storyline that way?
Possibly. They could do that. I mean, it'd be very...
I don't know. There's just this whole Lars.
Well, it wouldn't be out there because they pair Braun up with anybody and everybody, so it's not like it would be anything weird.
The whole thing. I don't understand what they're doing with it. I don't know why they keep going back to this match.
I don't either. We've seen it roughly. We've seen it in match form twice. And I'm just now figuring out that apparently Lucha House Party got disqualified at Super Showdown. So what does that mean?
Who knows?
Who?
I figured they'll probably have this match again next week.
Probably. Because why not?
Yeah.
We can do anything we want to. So, Lars ends up getting the win. Please let Shane get off my TV for the love of God. Yes, please. I would love that. The only redeeming quality of the Shane segment tonight wasn't even on my television.
It was your little brother?
It was my little brother. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, because I don't even want to talk about Shane right now. I don't want to hear the S word. I don't want to see the S word ever again. What's his name? I don't even know what his name is. See, I have deleted it from my mind. I don't even remember what his name is. See, we're not talking about it. Anyways, next segment is the Becky and Lacey interview. Pause. I can't speak. Earlier in the show, at the beginning, Michael Cole was like, oh yeah, I'm going to have an interview with Becky and Lacey about their match at Stomping Grounds. And I was like, oh, great. Is this all they're doing? Is this the only segment we're going to have for them? Because that'll be exciting. Not seeing Becky wrestle. Good place to put her, right? No. So, we get the Becky and Lacey interview, and I mean, it kind of took me back to the Charlotte and Becky interview, where, we get all those gifts where she's like, screw you. That's what it takes me back to. Only Becky people, know that. You probably didn't. You have to, use her gifts a lot, so.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, you probably didn't get that.
No, probably not.
But it took me back to that. It was a lot of back and forth, the same stuff. Lacey was like, oh, I'm going to class up the division. And this is my stuff. Hello, Elijah. How's it going? So, it was a lot of the same stuff. But one thing stood out in my mind, and I was like, bro, how does this make any sense at all? So Lacey said, like, I'm gonna make Becky 2 belts be Becky no belts, and I was like, whoa. Hold up. First off, she's not even Becky 2 belts right now, so that statement is illogical and makes no sense. And so I was like, bro, you can't make mistakes like that because they live on forever. They're very obvious. She's not Becky 2 belts anymore. Anybody else catch on to that? It just made no sense. You can't go from having her being Becky 2 belts to being Becky no belts. She's not even Becky 2 belts right now.
She was just counting the belt that was holding up her pants.
I mean, did it make any sense at all? No. So, I mean, I was like, bro, you're stupid. Made no sense. So then we have an Alexa and Nikki backstage segment. And, essentially what it is Alexa's, like, describing how, because it's announced that later in the evening, we're going to get a tag match between Becky and Bayley. Sorry, I said Alexa, and the Alexa being bonged. It does that every time. So we found out later in the evening we're getting Bayley and Becky versus Lacey and Alexa. And so, we're kind of playing off of this right now. So Alexa's talking all about Bayley and how she treated her in NXT. She's talking about traits of how she would have treated somebody in NXT and what would make sense as to... Becky
will be
Becky 2 belts again. Props to you for figuring it out, bro. High five. More people need to think like that. Anyways, so Alexa's, talking all about these traits of how Bayley treated her, and Nikki's like, really? She was mean to you? She used you? She only wanted to be your friend when she needed something? What? That's not Bayley. And then Alexa said something along the lines of like, this is why I am the person I am today. And Nikki was like, huh? And she was like, oh, nothing. One other thing that I noticed was the fact that she was like, oh, Nikki, I can just be Alexi when I'm around you. And people have kind of caught on to the fact that they're dragging in their real names. They're dragging in actual relationships that they have with different people. And people aren't a huge fan of it. They have done this before the interview with Becky and Lacey happened, they showed like a backstage clip and they made mention of Becky and Seth's relationship on commentary. They were like, oh yeah, and here we have backstage getting set up, Becky talking to her boyfriend, the Universal Champion, getting ready for her interview, and I was like, why we're doing this again? And people aren't huge fans of it. They're not big fans of them pulling in their actual personal lives into their characters. I feel like there's a line that needs to be drawn.
Why?
I don't know. Because I have a feeling they're going to turn their relationship into some stupid storyline.
They might.
And people don't want to see that.
Well,
I mean,
don't know. It depends on what you're doing.
I'm not going to be mad if they do, but, like, it's not high on the priority list.
No, I mean, I don't know. So is Alexa using Nikki? I think so, probably. The one thing I'd like to see this good Nikki Cross. I'd like to see her, get in with Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm. We say this every time we talk about Nikki Cross.
Yeah, I just think it'd be cool if they did something like that.
It would be cool. Had to say it. Alexa versus Bayley at Stomping Grounds. Alexa wins, takes the title to Raw. And Becky versus Alexa at SummerSlam and new SmackDown Live Women's Champ, Becky 2 belts. I very well could see that happening. I kind of talked about that when this match was first made. Yeah, and she got in the ambulance with Seth too. And so, that made sense, in my opinion.
Why? They're trying their storyline, their personal storyline. You don't just jump into it, oh, Seth Rollins, I'll just jump in the ambulance with you because we're not in a relationship.
No, it made sense. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's all part of the show.
No, but I understand. Bro, okay. She hopped in the thing. It made it feel like it was more real because his actual girlfriend.
But if you're going to separate their personal lives from, the show, then...
That is not what I just said, okay? I said there has to be a line drawn. I feel like they're, overdoing it a little bit too much because they show it every week now. They show them in some form, in some segment together, no matter what it is. And I feel like they're overdoing it just a little bit. Like, since they announced that they were in a relationship together, I feel like they have done it a lot thus far.
Yeah.
And, people don't like that. They don't love the fact that they're putting them in the segments together all the time. You know, if it was something like that, like with the ambulance, it makes sense. It makes it seem more real that Seth is legitimately hurt and his actual girlfriend is going to the hospital with him.
Okay, so then there shouldn't be an issue with, you know, having any other type of their personal lives brought into it.
I don't know. I don't have, like, a problem with it. It's just, don't overdo it.
It's part of the show, man.
I'm just saying, don't overdo it. And don't do something stupid with it.
Well, it's WWE.
Because if you're going to do something stupid and corny and cheesy, people are just going to be like, you idiots.
It's WWE. What do you expect?
It's probably going to be, they're probably going to turn it into something stupid.
Something stupid?
No, they're probably going to turn it into some stupid storyline, and that's what people didn't want to see happen.
Well, yeah, I agree. So then we have, did we do the Alexa and Nikki backstage segment? Talk about that?
Yeah. I was in the process of talking about the Alexa and Bayley at Stomping Grounds thing.
Then we have Miz TV with Samoa Joe.
A lot of people in this segment. So Miz tells Joe, they like show the video of like when he got his championship back last week, and Miz is like, you know, you brought in Ray's family and you crossed the line when you did that. Coming from a dad and coming from a family man, bro, you don't do that. And then Joe was like, well, why don't I bring up your family and your personal life? And he was like, I don't think so. And he whipped off the sunglasses. It was, you know, the Miz thing.
That's where Miz could have went, personal life? I don't have a personal life. Until you see my TV show? We have cameras following us around all the time.
Then Braun comes out because he said something along the lines of like, I came out here to look for challengers, but why don't we talk about your family and your personal life and blah, 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 blah. Then Braun comes out and is like, well, I'm looking for I hear that you're looking for challengers. I'm looking for somebody to get these hands. And then Lashley comes out and is like, I'm not done with you, Braun. And Joe, we've worked together for a long time, and you should know better than anybody that I deserve a title shot. So why don't you just give it to me? Then Ricochet comes out and is like, I have gotten 2 wins over Cesaro, and I want to go for this championship. I want my first title in WWE. Not NXT. It's WWE NXT. It's all WWE. But he said WWE.
Yeah.
Then Cesaro comes out, looks as if he's going to say something on the mic, and then he sucker punches Ricochet. And then this leads into a fight. And then right before this, I was like, we're going to get a meaningless tag match, aren't we?
We had to have a 6-man tag match.
We had to have a meaningless 6-man tag match somewhere on the show. And it was here. We have
Lashley should be in the title picture. Again, and I've said this 100 times, I think that you need to have your mid-card, your upper card, mid-card, and lower card. And you should have a title kind of at each section. Lashley, I think...
I kind of agree and think that he should have been put in the big title picture because I think that's what he thought he was going to be getting.
One of the issues... the problem is WWE right now doesn't look at anything other than just your top 3 or 4 people.
And I think Lashley should have been at the top 3 or 4 people. And then they did something stupid with him, put him with Drew and Corbin, and that ruined him.
But when you have Seth...
Oh, and they had Lio Rush with him, too. Which? Did you see the videos of Lio Rush on Twitter?
No.
You're going to have to watch those because they were, like, videos that, like, really, like, kind of like the Jon Moxley videos that were thrown together. And he's, like, man of the hour or something like that, and he's, like, in wrestling gear. Where's he going? He's still is he going back to NXT? Is he coming back to WWE as a different character? Is he going somewhere else? He's still on the page under like superstars, and like he hasn't asked for his release or anything. Yeah, so is he just rebranding himself and going back to NXT?
Might be.
Yeah, the Lio Rush videos on Twitter. I was just wondering if anybody had seen those, because I stumbled upon them the other day, and I didn't even know they were out there. I had just been scrolling through Twitter, and somebody
Maybe he's rebranding.
Retweeted it, and I was like, I haven't seen these. What's he doing?
Who knows? I mean, if he's gonna rebrand, he has to do it within WWE.
I mean, he has to. It makes sense to, right?
Can't be leaving.
Well, I mean, unless he like asked for his release and they granted it, they gave it to him because he's such a trash face.
Well, yeah, from what I've seen and read, he's not liked backstage, so that doesn't help. Remember last week we said the Ricochet push is coming? Yeah, definitely.
I was
going to mention something about that. So then you have the Miz Ricochet Braun match against Lashley. Samoa Joe,
you almost want to say Lashley, Corbin, and Drew because that's the three guys that
Ricochet,
come to your
Miz,
mind.
and Braun get the win.
Good match. I mean, I thought it was a decent match for what it was.
I definitely think that Ricochet is going to get a push. I don't know what he's going to get a push for. Which title? I'm guessing probably the United States title, but
for
I don't
right
know.
now because he's on Raw. United States title, it wouldn't
that's
be.
my
Well,
guess.
I mean, actually, never mind. Every time I say that, I forget that we have the stupid wild card thing, and so just.
Hey Rob, how you doing?
Hello, how's it going? So I just need to stop saying that because he could go for the Intercontinental title.
And James, yes, I think that the women's division's kind of been put to the side since Ronda Rousey's left. They don't focus on it as much, which
Stupid.
it's kind of sad.
It's dumb, is what it is. I'm really glad Ricochet's being
But again,
used.
and we've said this several weeks now. They only focus on there's about 10 wrestlers they focus on.
Generally speaking, yes.
And they've done a little more with the 24/7 championship, focusing on
Truth.
a few more wrestlers with that. Well, yes, they focus on Truth, but you had Jinder Mahal win it, and
Drake.
so they've had
Maverick,
some
they had him
they've
try
had
to
some
win it.
things happen there where
Elias.
they've focused on some other people.
Elias.
Yeah, Elias went from being Shane McMahon's right hand man to now chasing around 24/7 title.
And apparently Buddy Murphy was too.
Yeah.
What? You've got to be joking me. I'm just waiting for. I don't even remember who it was. Oh, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. That's who I said. I was thinking that when I was watching their match tonight, and I was like, they're gonna go to be chasing around the 24/7 championship.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee that. It just makes sense. Good question. Where is Paige and her team?
Where's any tag team?
Nobody knows.
Where's any tag team outside of I know we got this week we had the Usos and the Revival and against Zack Ryder and
Kurt Hawkins.
But outside of that, really, there hasn't been a lot of anything with any tag teams.
They kind of started to focus on Brian and Rowan, but then they kind of stopped that because they had the Saudi show, and Brian wasn't going, so it's not like they could have them defend their titles there.
But they could have kept something going to
But they were trying to focus on the Saudi show. That's what they were doing.
Okay, but you can always, and this is the problem with WWE, you can always start to work towards your next pay-per-view.
Well, they don't seem to think that way. They don't start working towards their next pay-per-view until the actual pay-per-view that we're watching, people. 99.9% of the matches that have been made thus far are because they were announced at Super Showdown.
Yeah.
Not cool,
Which
okay?
I don't understand. I don't understand why you did that.
And then I'm kind of expecting to see Heavy Machinery versus Brian and Rowan for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, possibly added to the Stomping Grounds card.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any tag matches on there. And it would just make sense. Because they already said that they're going to have a match. It's just a matter of where and when.
Yeah.
And now we have Raw Tag Team Championships that'll be defended sometime.
So I don't know. With as little as they focused on it, they need to just have one tag title. They're not gonna do it.
Now,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What were you?
I was gonna say we have Becky, Bayley.
Oh, I was just about to
versus
talk about
Alexa
that.
and Lacey.
Yeah, so we have Becky and Bayley. The challengers versus the champions. This was lovely. I thought Kyrie and Asuka were supposed to face the IIconics. So did the rest of the world, but apparently not.
The only thing I can figure is one of them's hurt.
I mean, but yeah.
But who knows?
That's
I
it.
don't know. It's again, it's. But you'd think that if one of them was hurt, that they would be pulling, another tag team in to, try and fill some time, but they don't. So.
Because they're stupid.
Well, the tag titles are kind of irrelevant. For all of them.
All right. So, a couple different thoughts here. I don't. First thing, Bayley was in her hometown of San Jose, California. What I don't understand is they've given other people the win when they're in their hometown, and they didn't give Bayley a win.
Okay. And your point is what?
It just doesn't make any sense because they've given other people numerous
Well, it keeps-
opportunities to get. They've given other people wins when they're in their own hometown to get the big pop and get the big reaction. But they choose not to with Bayley when they're in her hometown.
Okay, but it becomes too obvious when you start having everybody do. Oh wow, they're in their hometown, they're gonna win.
Well, I don't know. I'm just looking at it from she's gonna get a big pop standpoint because it's her hometown, and isn't that what you want?
Well, you do, but I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I mean, it's not like it's a big deal.
Well, I don't know. I just think it's not cool because other people have, been given a win in their hometown. Kairi Sane has been a disappointment since she's been called up. Yeah. I hate to say that because I really like Kairi Sane. She's really good in the ring. She's got a cute character.
Yeah, I mean,
and they haven't done anything good with her.
Well, the one thing I don't, they haven't used her. I mean, that's the big thing is we can say she's a disappointment, but I don't think they've used her enough to really get a feel on whether it's a good or a bad thing.
I don't know if I necessarily, I mean, she's not a disappointment, like, as her being, like, disappointing when she's been on TV. It's just, like, disappointing it's disappointing that they're not using her, is really what I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
They did Becky and Bayley. They screwed them. I'm sorry.
I think they were trying to make Lacey look better.
They were
But
100% trying to make Lacey look better, and after watching last week, I can't take her seriously, bro. Because last week was hideous and terrible. And, like...
Yeah, she had some bad spots last week.
No, not just bad spots, bro. Like, they weren't good. Like, that was the worst wrestling I've ever seen in my life.
But here's the deal. I mean, if you don't create the storylines, it's like they're not... They want these people to be robots.
It has nothing to do with storylines,
but
bro. This is the wrestling itself. It doesn't matter if there's a storyline with it. The wrestling is supposed to be good. You're supposed to come to watch good storylines and good wrestling in the ring.
Well, a lot of times the wrestling can tell a story.
Well, it didn't, because it sucked.
Well, it does. Why call up if they're not going to... Hey, I've said that about a lot of the NXT people they brought up. Why did they call them up? Because they have not used them much.
Yeah, good question as to, we're talking about Kairi Sane here, but this question can go for, like, just switch a couple words around. Why did we call Lacey Evans up? Why did we call her up? She's not good in the ring. They're doing the same thing with her over and over again with her character. I see this every week.
Well, here's a thought.
I just don't... It makes no sense.
Maybe because they like the tall blonde. Maybe they were
Have Becky dye her hair blonde and maybe she'll get somewhere in this business.
But she's not tall.
Well, too bad. Put her in stilts.
Okay, you want me to finish my thought here?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Charlotte hasn't been seen, in like 2 weeks now?
No, she was seen last week. Last week she was in the number 1 contenders match.
Yeah, but
then she was on Raw.
They kind of faded her out, though.
No, and then she was on Raw and she had the horrible match with Lacey.
So I wonder...
You can't forget that, bro.
I wonder if she's not going to take some time off. And they're looking for someone to kind of fill her place.
She took a lot of time off, like, recently. Like, she went to Mexico for, like, a couple weeks with Andrade, and they were both gone, like, after WrestleMania. And so they were, like, gone for a while. So, like, she just had, like, a huge vacation. Maybe she's taking another one. But,
I mean, I don't know.
You got me. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Lacey sort of redeemed herself tonight, but I still can't take her seriously after watching last week. I just can't.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention back in the Ricochet match.
Cesaro.
I think Cesaro probably really hurt his leg.
Like there were videos of him like actually limping out of the
and the way
like
he
with
rolled out of
refs
the ring and stuff. I'm not so sure he didn't like legitimately hurt himself.
Well, that might be the end of Cesaro for a while. Ricochet all the way. Ricochet.
Yeah.
I mean, Ricochet's getting the big push next. Because they were really pushing Cesaro,
Yeah.
too. They had him on TV.
Yeah.
They had him both on TV 3 weeks, 4
Too
weeks in a
bad they
row.
were just facing each other and not like,
I think they're trying to build up a rivalry and an actual story here.
Well, I think that's what they were doing. I mean, based on what happened tonight, and then he got hurt. Or
I
at least it
mean-
looks like he got hurt.
Yeah. It just makes sense. Lacey and Alexa end up getting the win. Whoop-de-doo. Lacey needs to change her finisher. I have a problem with using a right hand as your finisher. It doesn't seem logical, okay? When you're going up against somebody like Becky, who legitimately had her face broken, it doesn't look legitimate. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Change it. Use a different finisher. I have a problem with it.
You'd have a problem with it no matter what finisher she was using, so it doesn't matter.
No, I really wouldn't. Nobody else in the company uses a right hand as a finisher for a reason.
Well, then that's why they did it.
Because
something
it's
different.
not legitimate. Other people use all these crazy finishers to knock people out. You can't just use, just makes no sense.
That's why they do it.
No, it just makes no sense. And she needs to change it and use, her moonsault or something as her finisher. Because the right hand, 99.9% of the time, doesn't look good. And the other percent of the time, it's just not believable.
Oh, there's no doubt Vince loves Lacey.
It's just not believable.
So then we have Paul Heyman comes out and he talks about how Seth chose to hit Brock with a chair over and over
Big
and
Show.
over and over and over and over again.
That's the funniest thing I have heard in my life. He had a right hand finisher too, and it was like, his looked believable though. He's a big freaking dude.
Yeah.
And his fist is huge.
Well, do you want her to blow her fist up? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying it's more believable coming from him,
Oh.
okay? It just is.
Okay.
Whatever, you're just gonna blow me off like you always do, because my opinion is wrong.
No, you just don't like Lacey.
I don't like Lacey.
And you like Becky so much. So
I like Becky so
you
much
have-
more than Lacey.
You have blinders
I
on
used to
with
give
anybody
no
else.
shush. I used to give Lacey the benefit of the doubt. Okay, when she first came up, I was like, "Oh, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with her." Well, everything they've done with her is trash. Do you see why I'm angry?
Yeah, I see why you're angry.
It makes no sense whatsoever. Change your finisher, get better in the ring, and then we'll talk.
WD likes Barbie dolls. Yeah, definitely. Which is bad. I mean,
I don't think that's a good thing.
no, I agree.
So,
I think you need to take a look at the talent and what they do. And
100% take a look at the talent. Spitting everywhere.
So then he says that they will no longer tell us when he will cash in. So, basically it's a short segment.
Basically, it's what it should have been in the first place.
Lacey's a plank, Becky's the man.
Did anybody see that the man replica leather jackets came out today? They're $139, but boy oh boy am I saving up cash to buy one, and I'm gonna wear it all the time because I'm gonna be the coolest kid on the block.
Yeah, even when it's 110 degrees out, she's going to be
I
wearing
don't
that
care.
jacket.
I'm gonna be wearing the jacket, okay?
So what if you die because of overheating?
I'm wearing it all the
As
time.
long as you have that
if
cool
I'm
jacket on.
spending $139 on a jacket and it's Becky Lynch merch, bro, not a doubt in my mind I'm not wearing it everywhere. It'll be the only jacket I wear ever.
So then we have R-Truth
Winter
and company
coat
in the
no
elevator
more.
again. I thought this was a kind of a cool segment, and I think R-Truth said something about being afraid of Hornswoggle or something like that.
But he's talking about Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick's like, no, I'm not Hornswoggle.
And then EC3, I got one
See,
ordered
James
already.
ahead of you.
I know. If I just have a little bit more, I don't even know why I'm looking at my wrist. But I'm like, I got a little bit more cash.
If I had a little more cash on
If
my
I had a
wrist,
little more
I'd probably get something.
cash, I think I need like 30 more dollars, 20,
All right.
$40 more dollars. I'm real close. I can almost buy one.
Yeah.
Maybe. Sometime. In the near distant future. I will get one. Mark my words. I will buy one. And I will be back. And I will wear it.
So
you will
again,
see it.
again, a cool segment here with R-Truth and company in the elevator.
EC3 he pulled a fork. He pulled silverware out of his trunks. He was holding his cup and he pulled silverware out of his trunks and he's like, I'm getting hungry, guys. I'm going to eat R-Truth. And Carmella was like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody's eating anybody, you weirdo. Put your fork away. It was hilarious.
And then they made a game where you had to have the hats talk. And
Yeah, then they all yelled at each
he
other.
begged your wife.
That's funny. They're like, honey, can I spend $139 on a Becky Lynch jacket? What? I just want to spend $139 on a Lynch jacket. No. Well, I'm going to do it anyways.
I don't think that's what begging means.
Well, please, can I please buy a Becky Lynch jacket? Please, Dad. Will you buy me the Becky Lynch jacket?
No.
Okay. See, I tried. It doesn't work.
So then we have the IIconics versus the
None other
unknown
than...
team.
Man, you ruined it.
Oh, sorry.
Versus
Go
none
ahead.
other than... Drumroll, please. Jobbers!
Yes.
What a shock.
Again, they're making the tag team championships, at least the women's tag team championships, look kind of dumb.
Okay, so I was thinking...
I don't understand why they're doing this.
I was thinking that they were going to bring somebody else out after. You know, like a legitimate team in the WWE.
This is why I wonder if Kairi Sane and either Oscar are hurt. I mean...
They didn't.
But think about it. How many women's tag teams are there?
Well, we did have
I
the
mean,
Riot
actual
Squad
teams.
until they tore them up. And
Yeah,
we
but
wouldn't
where are
have the
they
Riot...
at? We haven't seen them in a while. have
Ruby
we?
Riot had shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
And so she's out right now.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan, just started showing up again at live shows. Sarah Logan is with her, wherever Hanson and Rowe are at. The War Raiders.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know.
So who knows?
But they broke them up anyways. Liv is on SmackDown now, and we thought she was going to be doing big things. Obviously not. And Sarah Logan and Ruby Riot are still on Raw. So, I mean, they could still be...
Dana Brooke and Naomi.
Didn't know they were a tag team, but they could be.
Well, I mean, they could throw something to... I mean, have legitimate tag teams thrown together and used. I don't know. It just seems like that, they haven't thought this out very well. And just kind of...
Not really.
Here, we're going to have a tag team championship, but we're never going to have anybody,
Liv Morgan made a return over the weekend. That's what I was kind of mentioning too, was she just started showing up again at live shows, by herself. And so I just saw that, today or the other day or something like that.
Yeah.
So she's
I don't
back.
know. Just, they need to do more.
I thought they were going to do more with Liv putting her on SmackDown. I was excited for it. I was like, oh, yes! Liv is going to be doing some more stuff. I wish they would do more with Dana Brooke.
Again, I think there's a lot of stuff they could do with a lot of wrestlers.
They
gave
her a little spotlight when they were doing the Ronda Rousey thing towards the end. It wasn't anything spectacular. I am not a huge, I don't know. I'm okay with Dana Brooke. She's got a cool entrance.
Yeah.
She does an aerial.
Yeah.
It's cool. She's really strong.
Yeah.
Hey, Dana Brooke versus Bianca Belair. That would be a match. They're both really athletic.
Yeah, definitely.
That could be a good match.
So then we have the Shane celebration.
Dear Gravies.
The
only redeeming quality.
You want to tell them about your brother?
Sure. So, the only redeeming quality of this is when Shane comes out. My baby brother.
It's 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. Tidy Jerry, Vincent, he's known as a lot of different things. Shane's music hits. Money. No, wrong song. Money, 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 money. And he's sitting there in his high chair going, money, 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 money. I'm like, bro, stop it. We're not Shane fans in this house. We don't like Shane. And then Shane gets introduced, you guys. This is the first time I've ever seen him do this. Because I knew he was singing the money song. We have to have a little conversation about that. So, Shane, he gets introduced, and he's like, and introducing the best in the world. Holding on and on and on and on. And he's sitting there, and you know how Shane is like, bask in my glory, bask in my glory. Vincent's sitting there, and he's going, best in... He's not speaking, but, best in the world. And he's going, and holding his hand out like Shane does. I'm like, bro, stop it. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. We're not Shane fans. And he's holding his hand out, and then Shane McMahon, at 1.5 years old, he's a Shane McMahon fan.
Yep, see, so he's a Shane fan.
This is not okay. I mean, it's okay, because it was the only redeeming quality of the segment. And it wasn't even on my TV.
It was funny.
But it's not okay.
It was funny.
We do not support Shane McMahon in this household.
Yes, definitely.
Shane is a knockoff of CM Punk. Best in the world. That's only and forever be CM Punk. He's never going to be the best in the world. Sorry.
No.
He's not. So this segment was pretty boring and was pretty much the same thing we always see. Shane is like, oh, I'm the best in the world, blah, 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 blah. He had decorations and everything for him. And I was like, why are we going all out for this? This is stupid. And Drew was with him, of course. And Drew was in his, street clothes. They looked identical. They were wearing, like, the same thing. They opened a bottle of champagne and drank it out of the big cup. And then they're, like, talking about how, in this next match, hoping that our good friends, my lackey dudes, the Revival, will, do some good in their next match and win the tag team championships. The Revival comes out, like, grabs a cup of champagne. They're like, oh, we're going to drink it. Shane's like, up, 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 up. No, you're not. You have a match. It's up next. And it will ruin your performance. We don't want that to happen. Give me those. You can have them after, when you win the tag team championships. Which then leads us to our next match. The Revival versus Ryder and Hawkins versus the addition of the Usos, okay? This match is being advertised as the Revival versus Ryder and Hawkins in a, 2-on-2 match. It's not what we got. The Usos ended up being added. I think it was probably a good thing because it can continue their feud going forward.
The thing is, they could have continued the feud anyway. I don't understand why they had to bring the Usos into this. If the plan was to have the Revival win the title anyway, it was pointless bringing the Usos into this.
I kind of understand, though, why they did.
Why?
Just of the way it finished.
Okay, but it still doesn't make any sense. You want to have, again, but I'm one that doesn't like to have titles determined with 3 teams. Or
no, you don't.
So
you don't see my side of the story, bro.
You have a storyline going there, so they shouldn't even be in the match.
I didn't have a problem with it. It will continue the feud between the Usos and the Revival, which I think is a good thing.
The feud was going to continue anyway.
I know it was going to continue anyways, but it gives it a reason to continue. Because now they can chase after the championships. Well, spoiler alert, the Revival ended up winning the championships. I wasn't shocked by this at all. I was thoroughly expecting them to win anyways, just because, they're the Revival. They gotta win, right? And so, they won the belts. They are now the new Raw Tag Team Champions. I think it's better for the belts as a whole to put them on either the Usos or the Revival. And as I said, it will continue their feud. Because now they're going after the championships.
Well, their feud is going to continue. Like
the way the match ended was Jay. It was Jay. Jay did all the work in the ring. He ended up hitting a splash on Zack Ryder. And Scott Dawson ended up tagging in very, he hit him as he, jumped off. And so he ended up being the legal man and went for the pin. Which kind of screwed over the Usos, so to speak. And the Usos were like, what? This is not okay, bro. Wait. And the Revival just, they left.
Yeah.
But it gives a reason to continue. And I see why they put the Usos in there to then give an actual reason as to why the storyline should continue. Because at this point, there is no reason for them to. The Usos got their win over, the Revival at Super Showdown. Why should their feud continue? No reason. They give them a reason tonight as to why the Usos keep going after the Revival, because they want the Raw Tag Team Championships now, because they screwed them over when he slide tagged in to win.
Well, that's fine, but I mean, they were going to continue that anyway. I just think that, you know,
It just makes, from a storyline standpoint, it makes sense.
well, I thought,
You talk all about, y'all, he talks all about storylines, okay?
I did.
This literally created a storyline, okay? Because if you're looking at it from a storyline standpoint, there was no reason for them to continue their feud
Wow.
after the Usos got the win at Super
Who
Showdown.
else are they going to feud with right now?
Nobody, and I understand
Exactly.
that. I understand
So
that,
it
but
was
they
gonna
could have
be-
just taken the Usos off of TV
It was
completely.
going to be the Revival
But
and
they're
the
not going to
Usos.
do that.
It was, well, if they do that, there's no tag teams because they don't leave anybody
Exactly.
else.
So they're not going to do that. So what I'm saying is the Usos would have no reason to continue going after the Revival
All right.
if they won, since they won the match at Super
Yeah,
Showdown.
the Usos want the title. That's why they were going after them.
Yes! Makes sense now, doesn't it?
It made sense before.
Jeez.
They
You
wanted
talk.
the title.
No! You know, it's like talking to a stick. Sometimes you talk all about storylines. You see why this frustrates me, people? Do you see why I yell at him sometimes? Do you see why I yell about things? Because I have to get through his thick skull, okay? We don't see eye to eye on everything.
It's not working out.
No.
Then we have FireFly FunHouse.
Just doesn't get it.
basically
You
he
talk
kills-
all about storylines.
He kills Ramblin' Rabbit.
He does.
That's pretty much what happened.
And he, like, tastes his jelly.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, the Bohemian spread from Ramblin' Rabbit. And it's like his insides. Gross. So is
Yeah.
Ramblin' Rabbit truly dead?
He might be. Very well
Don't
could
know.
be. Or at
Well,
least
I mean, he's died twice at this point.
until the next show, anyway.
He's died twice at this point. So, I mean, he could be.
So then we have the Seth versus Owens with Sami as a guest referee.
Yeah, that was announced earlier in the show. I don't think I wrote it down. That seemed a little creepy.
I think that with what they're doing with this character, and we'll have to see where they go with it, but I like what they're doing with it right now. Because you get the Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt, and then you get the totally creepy Bray Wyatt.
I agree. I know that Colin in particular, it stands out in my mind. He's kind of over the FireFly Funhouse thing. And I was like, really now? He's like, yeah, they're just doing the same thing over and over. You know?
Well,
But they
doing
got
all
to
the
get
same
Bray
thing.
actually in the ring so then we can see what he
Yeah.
can do. And I mean,
And that's
I
why I don't
understand
know.
that. And I totally understand. I totally see that point of view. I just think it's entertaining. And so I'm okay with them dragging this out a little longer so he's not in the ring yet.
It's definitely entertaining. And that's why I'm curious
But
to
I
see
can
what they're
see,
gonna do.
I see both sides of the story where he's like, I'm just kind of tired of it. And then other people are like, oh, well, this is like the greatest thing that I have going because it's really entertaining. And it kind of draws you in to see Anthony agrees. It's kind of getting old. The Funhouse is pretty good.
See, now James says it's pretty good. So
See, I can see both sides of it where it is kind of getting a little old, where Bray Wyatt isn't in the ring yet. They're not necessarily doing anything different than aside from these skits, which maybe some people just don't like them. And I get that. So I think they do need to start to build something up where Bray can get in the ring.
Well, at least start showing up at shows, like live.
Yeah. Start showing up, not just... You can continue the videos, and that's all cool. But he needs to get in the ring and start wrestling.
Well, yeah.
Yo,
How you doing, Austin?
how's it going?
I mean, yeah, you can do that. I mean, it would be interesting to see where they're going to go with it. I don't
It
know
would.
exactly what they're going to do.
But you know what I'm saying? I can see both sides.
Yeah, I can see both sides.
Where people are kind of tired of him doing the same thing where he's doing his funny business. And I can see other people that are like, I love it. It's
Yeah.
the greatest thing they have going for them right now. Because, it is. It is one of the greatest things they have going. It's really entertaining. They're creating story. And lots of people are loving it. And some people aren't.
Well, it
It's
depends
just
on
life.
again, it depends on where they go with it. I mean, that's the huge thing. So the Seth versus Owens match with Sami as a guest referee ends up with Kevin Owens getting the win by disqualification.
So the whole match, Sami Zayn is kind of getting involved here and there. And he was like, oh, Seth's doing this. He kind of distracted the ref multiple times when Seth could have gotten the win. So then it kind of dragged it out for good old Kevin Owens. Then ultimately he got in the ring at one point in time and got in Seth's face and was like, yo, you're not supposed to be doing that. And he was like, what do you know? Okay? You're not even an actual ref. So step off. And he ended up, like, grabbing him by the collar. Sami rang the bell. Kevin got the win by disqualification. Then after, Seth grabs Sami again. Seth then attacks Sami. He then gets attacked by Baron Corbin and Sami. Fights back. Goes and grabs a chair. Baron Corbin gets out of the ring, runs up the ramp. And then we watch on. The Death of Sami Zayn. Part 72. Sami Zayn got annihilated by a chair.
Yes. Destroyed.
Destroyed. Like, destroyed. Not good.
No.
I don't know if he'll probably show up on SmackDown tomorrow and be completely fine. And it'll be like, how does this man keep getting out of these situations?
Yeah.
He was stuck in a dumpster. He got compacted by a dumpster truck thing. He was hung by his feet. I mean, this man has gone through everything.
Yeah. I mean, it, you know.
And he keeps coming back. That should be his gimmick. You know what? Why didn't Corbin help Sami? Because Corbin only cares about himself. Well, let's be real here. Corbin, you know, in the beginning, Sami was like, oh yeah, it's like I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That's not the way Corbin works here, people.
I'm guessing the Corbin storyline is going to end.
I kind of hope so.
I mean, that's my thought. That's the only thing I can figure out as to why he didn't help out.
Whole.
I mean,
you know, I just don't like Corbin. I've made it very clear that I don't like Corbin. Anybody who watches these shows knows that I don't like Corbin. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that I don't like Corbin.
Yeah.
I don't like Corbin.
Yes.
So, just.
I mean, I don't know. I just, again, Corbin is a coward.
Agreed. He can't do anything by himself. Let's be real
I don't
here.
understand, you know.
It doesn't. Boy.
I don't understand what they're doing.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh
with
boy.
the whole thing.
Boy, oh boy.
And so, if Corbin leaves, who is the top heel? You know, I don't know. I was hoping that they would use Corbin to get Brock the title back.
Maybe they're going to do that at Stomping Grounds?
If the plan
no,
is,
they wouldn't do it at Stomping Grounds.
If the plan is to have Brock win the title,
oh, Shane, who are we kidding,
me.
people? Shane is the top heel in WWE. Let's be real here. Sorry, Corbin isn't the top heel. It's Shane. It's got to be Shane.
Yes.
It's got to be Shane.
Austin, there's been a ton of commercials, and it drives me nuts too.
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
I wish they'd do the split screen like they do on SmackDown. They don't do it on Raw. They only do it on SmackDown. It kind of makes me
I don't understand
mad.
Why they don't work it in.
Having some issues there? You're like,
different. I mean, doing it. You took the last water, so I'm like,
oh, I'm so sorry.
Waterless.
I had to make my tea somehow.
I don't understand, you know, why they have so many commercials. It seems like they could do something different with that.
Yeah, nobody knows.
And make it more interesting.
Nobody knows why there are that many commercials. They just don't.
They could, like, put a digital thing in the center of the ring for people to see, kind of like they do with soccer. And still get an advertisement.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They don't, like, go over, like, or rarely go away from a soccer match. They'll leave. Not that I watch a ton of soccer, but
I don't watch.
They
soccer.
have, like, you know,
I
a digital thing that shows up in the middle of the field.
Ah, okay, I got it.
So, like, only the people on TV can see it, and that are watching TV, not the other.
Corbin is a great heel, but WWE booked him poorly.
Definitely, I think
I agree. I think
they use him too much, is what happens.
That's the problem.
And then people get tired of him.
That's the real problem. He is used. What is? Oh, we'll talk about Goldberg in just a second. Corbin. Okay, so I've seen lots of different people. I hate him. I don't like him. Because they use him too much. Like, because he's in everything, you know? He works his way into the main event somehow. I mean,
Yeah.
is that's logical, right? You know, I've seen people say that he's like a really good heel to hate. Like, the people love to hate him. I don't. I just hate him. I don't love to hate him. I just hate him. Like, get him off my TV because he's on it too much. He's not like MJF.
Yeah.
MJF is a heel that everybody loves to hate. Corbin
But
is not.
The thing is, they're two different characters. Corbin doesn't come out and do a lot of talking.
No, and I understand that.
MJF
but like,
does a lot of talking.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're both heels though.
Yeah.
So, it's just
Yeah.
Stephanie loves him. Well, yeah, everybody loves him apparently.
Is everyone bashing
So
Goldberg today? I've seen a lot of people bashing Goldberg.
Everybody's saying that he's the reason that the match was terrible, but like, yes and no.
He's the reason because based on what I've seen and what I've read, and the fact that he does that stupid thing before he even comes out where he smacks his head into a locker. I'm not sure he didn't knock himself out or
And then the fact that he ran into the pole.
mess himself up
Prior
to even going to the ring.
Every time it's pay-per-view on the network, it stops and starts. Anyone had that problem?
Like constantly, or just like at the beginning.
Like, we had that problem a couple times, I think.
Yeah,
during
we
Super
had
Showdown.
it a couple times this
Our
week.
internet went out. Stupid internet went out during Super Showdown because it's stupid.
Yeah, but it came back fairly.
But then
quick,
it came
so.
back. But then we did have that like starting and stopping business.
Yeah. Going back to Goldberg, I think that the only bashing they could do with him is, and a lot of people are like, he's really old and he couldn't do that move. I think he could do the move. I think
He
the problem
just
was
knocked
he was
himself out.
knocked. Like, I had no clue what he was doing.
He said himself that he knocked himself
I
out. He
mean-
put up a tweet and was like, "I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I went too much. I knocked myself out. I wish I could have put on a better show. I did the best I could with what I could do, and I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Like, he said himself he knocked himself out. People just, I mean, cut the guy a little slack.
Yeah.
It's stupid that he runs himself into the door before.
I don't think their age had anything to do with it. I think it's the fact that he knocks himself out.
It's stupid that he runs into the door beforehand, but he couldn't help the fact, like, it's not his fault that he ran into the pole during the match.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad until after.
Well, I think based on what they said, he was kind of loopy before he came out from smacking his head in the locker.
I mean, yeah, and I understand that, but it didn't really show in the ring in the beginning until after he ran into the pole the second time. You know what I'm saying?
No, when he hit the pole, I definitely, because I even made a comment. I think I made a comment to you. I mean, there's blood, and I said that I think he's like knocked out.
Like, so
Or,
it
you know,
wasn't
out
like
on
he
his feet.
wasn't functional before the match started, and when the match first started, like the first 5 or 7 minutes, and then after that, he knocked himself into the pole, and then he was like, it wasn't good after that.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I just,
Yep.
Ugh. It's not a lot you can do.
I don't think we have any like news or anything like that.
I didn't. There was a new match announced for AEW Fighter Fest. BT Dubs, I guess this is kind of news. I think he is earned respect.
Yeah. I like both of them. I mean, I like both Undertaker and Goldberg.
They're both legends. I mean, everybody's
They
always
both-
gonna like
They
them.
both have their own characters, and I think even at their age, like I said, they're not the high flying, so I think that they could still have a good match.
Yeah.
I thought
I mean,
the
as
one
long
the
as
other
they're
day
not
was
knocked out, you know.
Yeah, I thought the match the other day was bad just because I think he was
Knocked
like
himself loopy.
yeah.
No, but the Fighter Fest, AEW Fighter Fest on BR Live, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The app. It'll be free on that pay-per-view.
And your sure it's free.
Yeah, they said so.
Okay.
It'll be free.
All
I
right.
read my information, right?
All right.
I'm not stupid.
All right.
I don't know when that is. I gotta look.
I don't know.
I'll double check real quick. Fighter Fest is.
Look it up.
Oh, let me
Fighter
get it.
Fest.
AEW. AEW on Twitter. AEW. What? AEW. What? AEW. And then they asked, like, about Double or Nothing released on DVD or Blu-ray. So they're probably going to release a DVD. June 29th.
Yeah, and I thought it was at the end of this month.
June 29th. Because we have that. So,
Yeah.
you know, we have that to look forward to. Cody Fridays, blah 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 blah. I saw, like I said, I saw that it was supposed to be free on BR. Live.
Yeah.
So says people at Wrestling Inc. So don't quote me on that,
yeah.
but that's what I saw.
We'll check into it I'll check into it and see about, and then get back to you tomorrow.
But the match
See
that
for sure if it's gonna be free.
Yeah, the match that was announced is Hangman Page and Jungle Boy versus Jimmy Havoc and MJF. It'll be a good match.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this match. Like, all 4 of these guys are really good in the ring. So.
Do you mean like where is it taking place at, James?
Or like where?
Or like where can you find it? It'll be on the BR app on like your phone.
Yeah.
We have Apple TV, so we have the BR app on our Apple TV. I'm pretty sure it's on like Roku and Fire TV.
Tickets for All Out go on sale on the 14th. Anybody wondering?
And I think Fighter Fest is that in
Florida.
Yeah, Tampa, Florida. Is that right?
Daytona Beach
Daytona
Ocean
Beach.
Center.
Yeah.
Daytona Beach, Florida.
On the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably do
Possibly
a show with that. We are looking, possibly, we've talked about expanding to like do Impact and things like that, so be looking out for that possibly. A lot of it's just time consuming and finding time for me to be able to watch,
50 hours of
more
wrestling.
wrestling a week.
I can watch 50 hours of wrestling on any day. You can't.
Other than, it's easy for you.
I mean,
other
it's
than
still, So the one other thing, the Raw Women's, I just scrolling through Twitter, the Raw Women's Championship was defended in a dark match against Lacey Evans. Is it free? That's what I saw, is that they're going to have Fighter Fest on the BR app for AEW for free.
I will check into it. I'll see tomorrow. I'll check into it tonight, and tomorrow when we do our SmackDown, you just got to remind me.
Sure.
We will check and find out if it's going to be free.
Sure.
And then we'll let you know. With that, I think we've.
Fighter Fest on BR Live for free. Glenn Rubenstein said, as predicted on the Wrestling Inc. podcast, AEW Fighter Fest is going to stream for free on BR Live. Very smart move by All Elite Wrestling. They need to keep momentum going for All Out and their weekly TV launch on TNT this fall. So apparently Kenny Omega was on like the E3 Twitch stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently he said something about it. So
apparently
I'm going to take this as a yes because Glenn Rubenstein okayed it, and
I'll double check just to see if it is.
But AEW, as I'm seeing right now, AEW hasn't said anything about it. But Glenn Rubenstein from Wrestling Inc. has, and there's a video of Kenny Omega talking about it, so I'll check that out. They have Fight for the Fallen too.
Yeah.
He said, question now.
Yeah, that's what Anthony just said. They have 3 pay-per-views before they go on TNT. They got All Out.
Yeah.
Fight for the Fallen.
And Fighter Fest. Like one pay-per-view every month. They have that this month, and then in July it's Fight for the Fallen.
I think
and
Fighter
then in
Fest
August,
the thing is, I don't think, is Fighter Fest a...
Fighter Fest is AEW and another something else.
That's one thing AEW's been doing is they've been working with other organizations to kind of promote AEW and use some of their wrestlers. So I believe it's free. It'll be on the BR app, on whether you get it on your phone, your iPad, your Apple TV, Fire TV, or Roku TV.
AEWXCEO.
Yeah.
Whatever that stands for. Some other
something.
Who knows?
We'll just double check just to make sure see if we can find something where it's.
But I'm gonna take that as a
yes, it's free.
Yes, it's free because Glenn Rubenstein doesn't put out false information.
I will
ever.
double check and see if it's just something we can find other.
I knew I was right. AEW has 3 pay-per-views.
I would not be surprised if he doesn't show up in Chicago.
I am kind of expecting it. If I'm being honest.
Well,
I'm really expecting
that
I think it would make sense because it's in Chicago.
Yeah.
And the stars are so similar to his logo.
Yeah.
like his old logo, it just kind of makes sense.
Kind of like did with Moxley and the promo he did, kind of.
Like he had the dice in his video.
Yeah.
So it just kind of, it makes sense. And so we'll have to see, I guess.
See where it goes.
I think it'd be cool if he did.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
With that,
I think that's it.
I think we got everything.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about expanding and doing a little more, other than just WWE and AEW possibly doing Impact. So we'll just see where it goes from there. Reminder, we stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and after every pay-per-view. We also send a... we'll have to get James the link for...
You just have to copy it from the bottom, don't you? Well, you're on the wrong page.
Sorry, man.
So no.
It's my bad.
Ding dong.
Yeah, you'll have to go on...
You're on the wrong...
Send it to him on Twitter.
Okay.
See you, Elijah. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell so you know when we get notified. Also, tell all your friends about our channels, that all your wrestling friends, so we can
all your
help the
wrestling
channel
friends.
Grow.
Yeah, we're almost at 50.
We're
almost at 50 subs. We have 10 more people, actually. We have 9 more till we're at 50 subs.
We love having
So,
everybody come in. We love having all you guys come in and talk.
Tell people about
Makes things go great. You guys have a great night. Eliza, James, Anthony, Scott. Is there anybody I missed? Austin. Have a great night. Until tomorrow, we will see you. Peace out.